Do you know that the richest artist in Africa is not a Nigerian?
Give me my girlfriend, let me go.
That is something a lot of people don't seem to understand. I have to give kudos to South Africa. I have to give kudos to Senegal and some other countries around the world for actually, making that huge sum of money from music in Africa. I think they should start giving back to the environment, to Africa at a time like this. That is something I need to actually speak about in this particular video. We need to talk about the richest artists in Africa. So I will start counting from number 10 down to number 1. And number 1 will surprise you guys. And that is what a lot of people are really waiting for. On number 10, we have Timaya with $10 million. This guy is one of the biggest artists in Nigeria. And this guy has been in the industry for a very long time, since 2005 or so. He's been in the industry and consistent, and he's become an OG in the industry already. This guy is from Bayelsa, though he was born in Port Harcourt, and he's been a lot of entertainer in the industry, and got a Grammy nomination at the time with his Morgan Heritage. I think I have to give it up for Timaya, one of the richest artists according to netizens' opinion. That is something I'm sharing with you guys. On number 9, we have Paul Okoye with $16 million. This guy is one of the biggest and richest artists. He's one of the members of P Square. His money is tied to his early investment, and that has actually helped him to preserve a lot of fortune he made from the music industry to an extent. And this guy is one of the favorite of many people in East Africa. Most of his shows are really heard in East Africa. He's gotten a lot of support from the East African part of the world. On number 8, we have a person of Two-Face Idibia with $16.5 million. Two-Face is a legendary in the music industry. This guy has been in the music industry since 1996, the days of Plantation Boys, and this guy is being respected because of his kind of remarkable achievement in the music industry. I think he's one of the persons that actually gave Nigeria Afrobeat a blueprint. He's made a lot of fortune for himself to an extent. On number 7, we have a person of Burna Boy with $17 million. This guy is one of the biggest African artists right now. Has a lot of Grammy awards to his name and Grammy nominations. One of the highest nominated at the Grammys in Africa right now. A lot of people can really attest to that based on statistics on ground. And he recently dropped an album called I Told Them. This guy has been buying luxury cars for himself and luxury watches, expensive things for himself. This is owing to the money at his disposal right now. A lot of people don't really know much about his investment plans, and that is one thing I cannot really discuss right now. Based on netizens' opinion, they decided to put this guy on number 7. On number 6, we have Don Jazzy with $18 million. Don Jazzy is a music producer, a record producer, artist, label owner, and this guy has been consistent in the music industry since 2004 that he started a music movement with the bunch that gave birth to more hits. Now he's one of the biggest musician, he's one of the richest artists in Nigeria because he's still a single somehow, and a lot of people don't really classify him as an artist. Instead, they classify him as a music executive to an extent, record label owner, manager, and all those kind of things. But I think I have to put him on this list based on netizens' opinion. What is your own take about that? On number 5, we have a person of Davido with $20 million. This guy is one of the richest artists on the continent right now, and one of the biggest artists right now. He has the biggest album in Africa. That is what I can tell you based on Billboard 200 in US. His statistics charting has actually proved a point. He dropped a recent album called Timeless, and that album has gotten 3 Grammy nominations at the Grammys right now, 2024 Grammys, and a lot of people are really excited. It has one of the biggest songs on the continent that is unavailable, and that song is just like a pandemic. Listen to Rihanna speak about that song.
Of the year available.
He's one of the richest artists. I have to say kudos to Davido, and you've done well for yourself in 2023. Number 4 is Wizkid with $21 million according according to netizens' opinion. A lot of people are really excited. Wizkid is back to the country right now. He's giving out to his hood, and Wizkid surprised them on Christmas Day. On number 3, we have Black Coffee. This guy is a music DJ, a music executive in South Africa, and this guy is a South African, music mongo, and he has over $60 million to his name in terms of assets and other things. I think I have to give it up for South Africa to an extent. They have rich persons in South Africa. They should start, making huge investment in the music industry in South Africa. He was born on March 11 in 1976 in South Africa, and he has a lot to his name, and this guy has actually impacted in the South African music landscape to an extent. On number 2, we have Akon with over $80 million. Akon is a Senegalese American musician, and this guy has well loved in Africa to an extent because he always loved the root Africa and supported the music industry in Africa across the world to an extent. And he's making some good investment in real estate, and he's making a lot of money for himself. He's a music artist, a record producer, a music executive, and a record label owner. He owns Convict Music. Number 1 is Youssou N'Dour. This guy is from Senegal. He's a Senegalese artist with over $145 million. This guy has actually invested in music business and also or some aspect of life or in some businesses also. These guys, they need to start giving back to his country right now because he's made a lot of fortune for himself. He's one of the biggest artists in Africa also, and we have to commend him to an extent. What is your own take about this? I want you to put that in the comment section. You can decide to rearrange the list. Put that in the comment section. Fela in Versace. Do we have another Fela in Africa? I just want to talk about the political censorship of African music. Afrobeat has been part of a political movement in Africa. We've gotten some remarkable achievement on that. Looking at the likes of Fela, Lucky Dube, and you get a lot of others around Africa. These guys have impacted into their political landscape with their music as their voice. Idris Abdulkarim tried it in Nigeria, although got some kind of accolades, but could not sustain it over the time because of the power that be in Nigeria. Do we have a Fela now in Africa? It seems like we have a Fela in Africa, but not in Nigeria. This guy is in Uganda. Fela has become the standard for Afrobeat. Baba Fela is the pioneer of Afrobeat to an extent because he lives in Afrobeat. You cannot talk about Afrobeat without talking about Fela. At the time in his career, he also called for the release of Mandela, which escalated in Nigeria and some African countries at the time. Right now, a lot of people are now enjoying the shadows of Fela, but you need to understand that he gave his blood for this struggle.